Hi, this is Radha, Assistant Professor, Department of English. Today we are going to see the poem A Different History written by Sujata Bhatt. Before moving on to the poem, let's have a short introduction about the author. Sujata Bhatt was born in Gujarat and brought up in Pune. She immigrated to United States in 1968. She received the Commonwealth Poetry Prize and Alice Hunt Bartlett Prize for her first collection, Brunism, in 1987. Her poem, Search for My Tongue, was widely praised by critics around the world. Bhatt has been recognized as a distinctive voice in contemporary poetry. Her poem, A Different History, deals with the issues of globalization and westernization. Let's move on to the poem now. Sujata Bhatt portrays the loss of language and culture after colonization in India. This poem describes the bitterness and sadness Bhatt felt about her mother tongue and culture. She explores the idea of history, culture, and language throughout the poem. She also uses two enjambments in the poem. The first talks about the book which represents the culture and the way people should read the books. The tone of voice used in the second enjambment is more aggressive and critical, as it described the period of colonization when the cultures and language taken away by the conquerors. The opening line, Great Pan is not dead, he simply immigrated to India, tells that the cultures and religions are transmitted across the globe. Great Pan symbolizes the pantheism existed in Indian religion where everything has a god in charge of it, even human. Bhatt talks about the culture and lifestyle moving with people by implying that God Pan is not ceased to exist but simply moved to India. This also indicates the similarity between the religion of the Eastern and the Western due to the constant transmitting of cultures and lifestyle. The god roams freely, disguised as snakes and monkeys, portrays the acceptance of new religion and cultures in India. God represents the new culture and lifestyles. Snakes and monkeys were worshipped during the past time as Indians believed that there were gods laying on them. This indicates that Indians welcome and worship the new culture and lifestyles. This also exhibits the innocence of Indians who allowed foreign religion to enter and roam freely in India. There is a repetition of the word sin. The author lists the way people should read the books. The word sin reinforces the negative commentary and intensifies the critical tone of the poem. The author uses book as an example to show people that the cultures must be appreciated and treated carefully by mentoring the tradition and custom of India in how to treat the book. Saraswati is a goddess of knowledge and art who Indians believe to be laying on the book. The author is telling the people should treat book as the way people treat the goddess of knowledge, highlighting the importance of God and the way people should treat them. It also depicts the emancipation of freedom in valuing one's culture but not liberating oneself with selfishness. There is a sudden change in the tone of voice in the second enjambment. It is more hostile and aggressive. This change is supported by the rhetorical questions. Which language has not been the oppressor's tongue? Which language truly meant to murder someone? This creates a sense of uncertainty and infuriation which the author felt about the colonization. Further, a sense of torment is created in and how does it happen that after the torture, after the soul has been cropped with the long scythe swooping out of the conqueror's face? Soul symbolizes the self-esteem of Indians for being able to speak Indian and follow the Indian culture. Scythe is a tool used to harvest crops by hand, which obviously takes much longer time than by machine. Scythe in this phrase represents the colonization and injustice. This shows that the colonization has cut out the soul of Indian by forbidding the cultures and language. This also reveals that Indians suffered long time during the colonization. The final tone of the poem is made in the last two lines. The unborn grandchildren grow to love that strange language. Sense of sadness and uncertainty are enhanced as it described Barth's realization of cultural consequences such as the colonization does not ruin one's history but begins a new era where a new generation of unborn grandchildren grow to love that strange language, the inevitability of cultural change. No rhyme is used throughout the poem. This shows that Bott wants to show how serious and complex the problem was and want the readers to think of the loss of mother tongue and one's culture. Moreover, an irony is used throughout the whole poem. Bott, who cries for the loss of language, used English to write the poem. This indicates that she is one of those unborn grandchildren who grow to love that strange language, creating a sense of sadness because even the author herself cannot speak Indian but uses English, the strange language.